my goodness. But we can move on here and we can talk about this story really quickly. We had a unanimous decision from the Olympic Commission. The IOC, I believe, have made a full decision, and they have ratified the Olympic esports games. They're now into fruition. They're on the way. We've had a quick preliminary list of what the games might be and what we might see. Apparently FPSs and shooters are not included, but a likely games list includes League of Legends, Rocket League, Street Fighter, Tekken, iRacing, NBA 2K, FIFA, and some select mobile games. Now, there's been some, again, of course, concerns with what the games might be run, the organizations, the events themselves, but what's done is done. It is now an Olympic event. The esports Olympics are coming. It's happening. How y'all feel about that?
Interesting. I think it's going to be an interesting take. I noticed that they said no first-person shooters, which it makes sense because they're going to be like, why are we going to put Call of Duty in there? And it's like, yeah, we want Call of Duty, the game where you play as like American shooting Middle Eastern people. Like that, no, like that. It's a bad look. I get that part. Rocket League, I don't even know if Rocket League really be moving like that, but like interesting. But I do think fighters would be sick. Worldwide champ. I mean, like we already have the Tekken World Tour. We have like the Street Fighter World Tour. But like on an Olympic stage, kind of hard if you ask me. I don't know. That's just kind of hard. I will not be tapping into the sports games because again, like, I'm not a huge 2K fan. I'm not a huge FIFA fan. But like the fighting games, yeah. And League is also interesting, but I think League is actually really interesting. But I feel like they have something similar to this. But I could be thinking about Overwatch because I know Overwatch definitely had like a world like tournament where like different countries competed. But all in all, I think it's sick. It's just an interesting like world we live in now where esports is this big. It's on the Olympic stage. Like I also 100% need to hear the comms. I want comms to be streamed. I want to hear what motherfuckers are saying. And I want to see what motherfuckers are typing in the match chat because I'm sure shit's going to get hella toxic between these countries.
Oh, man. The Monka S will be on display like no other. Oh, my gosh. It's just going to be a terrible time. It's going to be a terrible time. But I mean, it's up there. We'll see. The struggle. How you feeling about an esports Olympics? Okay, well, I'm about to say, well, hold on. But I can go back in, though. What's it called? Basically, the games, I know we talked about this a little bit last week and we kind of were ahead of the curve with it being into, fully voted and, passed into actual event. But the games listing, again, no FPSs, they make sense. I'd say that these categories kind of are pretty much there. Sports games, your fighting games and all stuff like that. It makes fair sense. What I would say is, and I think Chelsea Bites had a quick segment about this and potential pitfalls of, where would you find the cutoff point to say this version of the game or this version of a game is the one that's going to be at the Olympics? Because if you're just doing it on a rolling basis, what if an update happens a month before the Olympics start and this game is completely different, like a League or, or a Tekken or something like that? The meta's completely changed. There's nerfs and patches and stuff like that. What happens to the competition if these things are switched in and out and they an update happens and the meta's flipped upside down? People have to adjust their strategies and stuff. Coaches have to reassess everything and stuff is different. What is the play then? That's a really tough thing to kind of handle, and that would take a really, really big undertaking from the IOC and from game studios themselves if they want to get involved in that to make something happen.
Are we talking about gaming at the Olympics, right?
Yep. That is officially a thing now. That's officially happening. I believe starting in 2025 in Saudi Arabia, and then they got League of Legends, Rocket League, Street Fighter, Tekken, iRacing, NBA 2K, FIFA, and some mobile games on the slate as an early list. But there's a lot of stuff that could happen with it that might go left. I don't know.
I feel like they'll just, as far as the balancing aspects, they wouldn't update no game like damn near 3 months out of a major tournament.
Right.
That's what they do for tournaments now.
For a League, I think so if Worlds was in like November, I think like end of September, or not even end of September, it was like sometime in September, I think last year, they were like, yo, this is the Worlds patch. So we're gonna keep updating the game, but this is the world's patch. This patch is what people will be playing on. So whatever's broken is broken. Whatever's not is not. It is what it is. Like you gotta learn this. And I think it's possible because I think if I am getting called by the Olympics, if I'm Riot and they're like, yo, we want League at the Olympics, you can just do the same shit you did for Worlds. That's not hard. Tekken, I think, is still pretty much the same thing. Like, we need versions of this game on this, like this version only. No updates, nothing. Like, oh, okay, yeah, I agree with what Chelsea was saying of like, you know, you have to have like some kind of like foundation, but at the same time, like I think she said that there should be games developed specifically for the Olympics, and I just don't think that's really feasible. Because the reason esports is big is for games that are popular, and if it's very exclusive to the Olympics, people aren't really gonna watch it, right? Like if they made Olympic Tekken, it's not really gonna move the way regular Tekken is gonna move. Like you have to get things people are familiar with. It's not easy to do, and I do think there's gonna be a bunch of upsets. Shit, there may be even some times where people are like, yo, this shit sucks because I lost to this country because the update fucked over my main character and he got nerfed or whatever the fuck. But I think that's just esports at this point. I think that has to be just accepted. This is what the esports is going to look like unfortunately. But I don't think that's also like really that. I mean, it's a big deal, but it's also like it is what it is kind of thing, you know? Like this is what you signed up for. Being an esports professional.
Yeah, no, interesting. No, there's a lot of hoops to go through, but again, now that I didn't know that they had like established like cutoff points for certain tournaments, which is smart. And
certain games do, yeah. Like Worlds is huge, right? So Riot doesn't fuck around with that shit. But even then, of course, people still are like, yo, this is like, and like, but that's Worlds, right? That's their biggest event. When it comes to like, I know that there have been updates in the middle of like League of Legends seasons, like in the middle of like the regular esports seasons, where like everybo's like a team will be doing well. New update, team is dog shit now because the new update fucked up their whole strategy or whatever. But it's the name of the game, you know. Like that's just is what it is. That's esports for you, you know. Like if basketball was an online thing, I'm sure shit would change as well. If you could control the game of basketball, I mean, and actually the game of basketball has changed a lot. It just doesn't change as quickly or as much as esports because of like the way shit is. But like the 3-point line being moved, that shit is something that did happen, you know. And I believe isn't basketball played a little bit differently in the Olympics, or am I tripping?
Nah, I think it's most similar to the NBA. I can't remember any definitive rule changes between that and like FIBA and shit like that in Europe. I feel like it might be the same actually. I need to Google it, but I don't think there's a couple slight differences between like them and like European basketball, like FIBA and shit, but like I don't know how much it differs. I got off the top of my head, I can't recall, but I see your point though. Overall, I do see your point.
Yeah, like it just kind of what happens, you know.
Yeah, but we'll see. I said last
week. Excited for it.
Yeah, I'd say it's super cool though. Again, seeing like gaming on an Olympic stage, again, helping to legitimize the entire medium is cool, especially in the sports format in a time where esports has been on a very topsy-turvy path with, you know, so much shit changing and stuff and investment fluctuating and all that. So it's nice to see some more investment into it. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? There's the questions about who's organizing it, who's running it, who's pumping money into it, the initiatives and stuff, and all the political stuff behind the scenes. I've said that last week, but at the bare face of it, I think it's cool that we're getting those, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like freaking Arslan Ash getting gold medals and shit, standing on podiums with the Reef.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
God.
And the closing ceremonies and shit. Somebody might get to Michael Phelps level. You know what I'm saying? And shit, he have a whole like arm spread, a wingspan spread full of gold medals from gaming. Like that shit might be crazy. You know what I mean? Like what? Okay, what game y'all want to see in Smash? I think both of y'all would say Tekken probably first and foremost.
In the Olympics?
In the Olympics?
Yeah, in the Olympics.
Hell no.
No Tekken.
No Tekken in the Olympics. You gotta have to do team-based shit, I feel like.
I think team-based would be cool. But there are sports that don't have teams. There are Olympic events that don't have teams. So like I do.
I don't know. Fighting games too niche for me. For an Olympic stage anyway. I think.
Oh, true. But they're not having FPSs. That's another thing.
I think if you don't have FPSs front and center, it has to be fighting games next. I think all the early reports suggesting that there's not going to be any FPSs that are going to be on tap. I think maybe Fortnite, because they have the building shit. They might go full Fortnite.
Fortnite as an Olympic sport is crazy work.
It's wild, but this is the world we live in. This is the world we live in.
Yo, Booga comes out of retirement. We playing the national anthem when a 16-year-old on all the caffeine in the world is sitting there trying not to squeak out. And we're just like, absolutely, my fucking country.
Nah,
I'm not watching
Olympic sport though.
I'm not watching no 2K. 2K, 2K, FIFA, Rocket League.
I'm absolutely watching FIFA.
I can definitely see the FIFA.
iRacing.
Give me Smash Bros, man. I want to see these. I want to see these dweebs go at it full body, bro.
God, I don't want to see that.
No, I'm about to say rough haircuts and odors at the Olympics, man. I want the world to see what we've been seeing.
Like that shit.
I do Smash Bros at the Olympics, bro.
Maybe we don't want the video games at the Olympics now that I'm thinking about it. Like,
oh shit.
I guess I could definitely see some fighting games. I could definitely see Street Fighter. I could definitely see Tekken. I would be interested in League. I definitely would be interested in League because like that would kind of break up the Riot monopoly because they really kind of like run that shit. You know, like you don't really see eSports League unless Riot has something to do with it because they have all their own like shit like the LCK, LCS, all that shit. LEC, but I would like to see League. I would have wanted to see something like an Overwatch because I think that would have been cool. But if they're not doing FPSs, I don't think Overwatch is going to get through. If any FPS got through,
why not? Or it's the FPS is because it's like a world stage and they don't want guns.
Yeah, I think it's just a gun promotion thing.
Because it's like when you think about it, like the name, like think of the FPSs we have now. CS:GO, you're fighting against terrorists, you know, like it's a bad look. True. Call of Duty, you're fighting against Spetsnaz. Like imagine being the Russians having to play as the Russians getting shot by the Americans. It's just not the most. Yeah. Because Olympics is like a uniting thing.
Team fight tactics and shit.
Team fight tactics. Interesting. That's not a bad. That's not bad.
I'm not mad at that.
It's not.
What about any like card games and shit? You think any of them?
Like a Hearthstone? Like a Hearthstone would be kind of cool.
Hearthstone would work.
I like Hearthstone. I can see that. But yeah, like I'm just not interested in the sports games that much because in my mind I'm just like unless it's like a team-based sports game, like I need to see like more than just one dude playing FIFA. Like that's my whole thing.
There are duos in like entire like pro clubs tournaments where like it'll be like 11v11 people. Like it'll be a straight squad of full people playing tournaments.
Like I would like to see that more than I would like to see one person being good at FIFA. Like that's just my big thing.
Yeah.
But like Rocket League, even though Rocket League is very niche, I still think that's probably some of the best esports we had in a long time.
That's pure cocaine in esports
form,
bro.
Good.
The skill level some people can do with like doing that game is insane.
It's just fun to watch. Like League of Legends is probably one of if not, I think CS:GO might be over it in terms of like esports. But like League has like the biggest audience, but the most fun to watch is something like a Rocket League, because even if you don't play it, you understand the rules. Facts. And you're just like, oh shit, that motherfucker just pinched the ball on the ceiling to hit the fattest angle and get that shit in like that shit is crazy to me. I'll be watching the highlights till this day. If I see some shit pop up on my For You, I'm like, oh shit, hold on a second.
100. No, it's facts, bro. I think there's a lot of games that have potential, but it just depends on what the committee's looking to do. And I'm wondering, again, another great question that was brought up: how does the selection process gonna go for this stuff? Like, he's gonna pull anybody out there? It's gonna be prelims? Like what are we? What's the trials looking like?
Oh man, imagine being in school and your homie's like, yeah, I'm practicing for the Olympics. Like that's kind of wild. Like you have to have like tournaments. Yo, some countries will probably make their own teams. Like I know China does that shit a lot, where they will just straight up be like, "Yo, you 5 kids, you guys are pretty good at this game. You are now in the intensive Overwatch fucking Olympic team. We are gonna do everything we can to get this team to be the best." Like they take that shit really seriously. Us, the States, we're probably gonna be like, hold some tournaments, find the best people, and you know, if we win, we win. If we don't, we don't. Yeah. But like other countries will like literally find kids like, yo, what's your reaction time? I bet you ever played League? No, we're gonna put you in a 3s. Like we're gonna put you in an intense ass program. But it really depends on the game, truly.
Yeah, we'll see. There's a lot of potential there, but they got some kinks to work out. But I would be down to see stuff at the Olympics, man. That's cool seeing how far games have come and where games can go. That would be dope to see on a big stage.